Have you ever thought about starting a local marketing business, but maybe the tech side of things feels a little intimidating? Well, today we're diving into a system called Local Spotlight Fortune. The whole promise is that it gives you a ready-made top 10 businesses website that you can launch in your own city. So let's pull it apart and see how it really works. To really get why a system like this even exists, you got to start with the core problem it's trying to solve. If you've ever tried to sell digital marketing, you know this pain. Why is it so hard to sell something like SEO or complicated sales funnels to your local pizza shop owner? Well, according to the people behind this product, it all boils down to one word: complexity. And that right there is the big idea behind Local Spotlight Fortune, a line taken straight from their marketing. The goal is to completely flip the script. So instead of trying to sell these abstract services that might just confuse a business owner, you offer them something tangible, a spot on a platform they can immediately see and understand.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we'll unpack that local marketing problem. Then we'll see how this platform model is supposed to fix it. After that, we're going to walk through the 3-step launch, figure out how you actually make money with this thing, and then get into the true cost breakdown. And finally, we'll touch on the whole bonus ecosystem that drives sales for products just like this one.
Okay, first up, the local marketing problem. The real challenge here, and the one this whole system is built around, is that you're trying to sell the invisible. You're asking a busy local business owner to hand over their hard-earned money for something they can't physically see or touch. Now, just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got the typical stuff: SEO, funnels, automations. To a restaurant owner who's worried about tonight's dinner rush, that can sound like a completely different language. But then look at the right. The pitch is just, hey, would you like to be featured as one of the top 10 restaurants in town? It's simple, it's an ego boost, and it's something they get right away. And that's the perfect setup for their proposed solution. This is all about changing the entire conversation, from a pushy sales pitch to a simple offer of recognition.
So what is this thing really? Well, at its heart, Local Spotlight Fortune is a business in a box that runs on WordPress. The demos basically show you're getting a complete website package: the design, the article templates, the whole structure, so you can quickly launch a directory of top local businesses. And just like that, you're positioned as a local expert.
So why does this actually work? Well, it all comes down to some pretty simple psychology. First, business owners love, love, love recognition. Being called one of the best of anything is powerful social proof. Second, the pitch couldn't be easier. You just show them the website. And finally, because you only have 10 spots on a list, it creates this natural sense of urgency. Okay, the concept makes sense. But how do you actually get one of these sites up and running? Let's get into the nitty-gritty with the 3-step launch process. The whole launch process is boiled down to just 3 steps. First, you take their pre-built site and you install it on your own WordPress hosting using a simple backup plugin. It's like copying a file. Second, you use their tool to automatically generate 40 top 10 articles for whatever city you choose. And third, you publish everything and start reaching out to local businesses. So let's look at what you actually get in that main package. You're getting the professional website itself, that post generator we just talked about, some special GPTs to help you find local businesses, a bunch of social media templates for promotion, and of course, the step-by-step training videos that show you how to tie it all together. Now for the part everyone's waiting for. How does a site like this actually make you money? Let's explore the different ways you can generate revenue from this platform. Okay, so the number one way you make money is by selling premium spots on your lists. You go to a local business and you offer them that sponsored number 1 position. But it's more than that. The site is really designed to be a foot in the door. Once you're seen as the local authority, it becomes so much easier to upsell them on other marketing services you might offer. So what can you charge for something like this? Well, the price they suggest for that top sponsored spot is $397 a month. And the whole strategy here is to offer that exclusive spot to only one business per category. So one plumber, one roofer, one pizzeria. That creates scarcity and really helps justify that premium price. And to give you an idea of what that could look like, here's a testimonial that was shared in the product reviews. This person claims they landed 2 paying clients in their first week. And within just 2 months, they had 9 clients paying them. It's really meant to show you how quickly a simple offer like this can start getting traction. All right, we've seen the potential income, but let's talk about the investment. We're going to take a totally transparent look at the entire sales funnel, so you know exactly what the cost structure looks like from start to finish. Okay, so the main product, it usually launches for about $27. But like a lot of these online products, after you buy that, there are 5 optional one-time offers, or OTOs. OTO 1 is an upgrade package with more niches. OTO 2 gives you marketing materials like email scripts. The others are bigger bundles, like an AI store, a full agency kit with 70 websites, and a directory bundle. Now, you don't need any of these for the main system to work, but they're there if you want to scale things up.
All right, last but not least, to really understand a product like this, you have to look at how it's sold. And that brings us to what's called the bonus ecosystem, which is a critical piece of this entire puzzle. So, when you go looking for reviews of local Spotlight Fortune, you're going to see a lot of them are from affiliate marketers. And to make their offer stand out, they do something called bonus stacking. This means they'll promise you a gigantic package of their own extra software and training for free, but only if you buy the main product through their specific link. And we're not talking about a couple of small extras here. The scale of these bonuses is, honestly, it's massive. A single bonus bundle from one of these affiliates might include AI video creators, viral quiz builders, list building software, thousands of stock images, the whole shebang. And it's all just to convince you to buy that main $27 product through their one link. It's a huge part of how this space works. So after looking at the model, the cost, the marketing, what's the big picture here? What does a system like this really represent for someone who wants to get into the local marketing game? At the end of the day, Local Spotlight Fortune is a classic business in a box. It's designed from the ground up to remove the biggest roadblocks for a newcomer. Things like web design, content creation, and figuring out what to sell. It packages it all up into a system that aims to dramatically lower the barrier to entry. Which leaves us with one final, really important question for you to think about. Is a business in a box like this a smart shortcut to get your foot in the door, or does it let you skip over the tough but necessary lessons you need to learn to build a business that actually lasts? It's a trade-off that every entrepreneur has to consider. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.